Hello, everyone. I'm Percy number 6, and welcome back for episode 21 of Percy's Ever Present Past. Today, I am joined by Thomas Wooden Remakes. Clark, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm just realizing with this episode number, it's perfect because, well, my birthday's on the 21st of this month that we're recording this, so
Well,
that's pretty cool.
really? Well, we planned it out perfectly then.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's great.
Love to hear it. All right, so let's get started. I love hearing like the intro, how people got into this community. So I'd love to hear yours. How did you find the Thomas Wooden Railway community, and what made you join it?
Well, it's probably the most unoriginal way, but Kikre 24, everybody watched Kikre 24, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
um, which inspired them to go in to the community. And Kikre was always one of my most favorite YouTubers out there, and I watched his content all the way from like 2009 to around 2012, and I decided to open a YouTube channel when I was around 9 or 10 years old. I think I was then.
Okay.
So I opened up a YouTube account, and I guess for the time being, for about 2 years, I was just one of those kids who built layouts, did reviews and stuff like that, and just that kind of way to start off. But it wasn't really until 2015 I wanted to start doing remakes, which my channel name has become associated with, obviously, Thomas
Mm-hmm.
Wooden Remakes. And yeah, so I started doing remakes from 2015 onward. Um, and really, there were a lot of big inspirations here and there to also keep me motivated to work on content. One of the big ones was Ted Oliver Duck. I mean, the way he did his set dressing, um, and in general his filming style really helped me develop my own filming style as well. And I would say also users like Mr. Conductor Fan, definitely on the editorial standpoint of like content making, really inspired me and many other users out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. So first, because you went over a lot. First, I wanted to ask. So
Yeah.
Kikure with him, did you watch like OG Kikure before he was Thomas Wooden Railway?
Oh yeah, OG Key. Well, I don't remember when he became Thomas Monroe. I think it was 2011 or 2012. I might be wrong on that. Um, But yeah, I remember watching his OG channel. I think it was before he did NW Breakvan or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too familiar with his all his older channels that he had because he had like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah,
Um, but,
I think he
but yeah,
jumped.
I watched OG Key Cray.
That's cool. I like hearing that. And then hearing good friend Ted and stuff, the inspiration there. I definitely can see it in the videos and you know remakes, as you said. That's your channel name, Thomas Wooden Remakes. What kind of I look at the community. A lot of people, the videos they make are under three general umbrellas, being a
Yeah.
series, remakes, or reviews. And obviously, like you said, you focus on remakes. What made you pick remakes to be the one to focus on?
Well, I think it was just the pure just inspiration of the show itself. Seeing how beautiful it was there, and seeing like myself recreate the remakes myself, like for Wooden Railway and stuff like that, and it's I mean I'd say out of all of them, I'd say probably remakes is the biggest. Maybe not view wise or whatever, but just seeing most people doing them too. I see remakes more prominently, maybe with reviews, I guess. But mainly just the inspiration of the show itself. Me wanting to recreate stuff. And back then, I had a huge passion for like seasons 4 and 5,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went into that. Currently, now I'm trying to focus more on season 5 through 7, and maybe episodes that are generally harder to make. I see in my personal opinion, I see that one of the drawbacks of some people doing remakes is that they usually try to limit themselves, which you don't want to obviously go do something that's impossible for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's always good to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes, and try some new things out. And that's exactly what I tried to do with 2020. Try to get a remake out from those seasons. each of those seasons, and I was really happy with how they turned out.
That's good. I love to hear that. And yeah, I think you're right. I see remakes, there's a reason people joke about remake channels. I think a lot of people love doing them. And
Yeah,
I definitely I'm sure you probably would agree with this. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of remakes over the years, so I mean, it's some of these
yeah,
episodes I almost remember the remakes more than I do the actual episode.
yeah. Then the actual episode. I mean, I can count down like 10, 15 users who've done like a Thomas Gets Tricked remake
Mhm.
or whatever. And I think one of the users that really helped me realize, like, like step out of your comfort zone for that kind of stuff, because me kind of, yeah, I did some season 4, 5, 6 whatever remakes back then. But even me, I did some simplistic remakes back in the day, around 2015, 2016, from like seasons 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever.
Mhm.
But Mr. Conductor Fan certainly helps me out with that. I'd say with where my current goals are for stuff, he's definitely my biggest inspiration there, for doing this kind of stuff.
That's good to hear. I like to hear that. And another thing you've done a lot of are collabs. So I kind of like to hear that. What got you into collabs? Maybe some of your favorite collabs you've done.
Yeah. So first I was brought in for a collab in 2016 with a bunch of my friends. Actually, me and a friend of mine, TWR Productions 4, and I started a collab in 2016 called the Gallon Old Engine collab. Um, and it's actually supposed to come out soon. We released a trailer on it, but um, I was in that collab from 2016 to 2018, but I had to unfortunately take a leave there because I was making a move between continents and stuff like that. I didn't have enough time to film a remake for that.
Hmm.
But originally, I was supposed to be doing the episode "You Can't Win," but I that was the first really huge involvement with a collab that I was going to partake in. The next one, big collab that I partook in was a collab between a bunch of our friends. Trinking James brought me in for this one, the Trackside Tunes collab.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, and originally, I believe I was supposed to do or edit the music video. It was either Donald's Duck or Accents Will Happen. I can't remember, but unfortunately, during that as well, I had to take a leave of absence due to personal reasons during that time. But I tried to contribute as much as I could since we had some restraints here and there. But I was very proud of my fellow members there too, who were able to get the collab out with what little I was able to contribute to the collab, and I'm just overall proud of work right there.
Mm.
Um, and I'd say like another collab I was brought in. I was kind of brought in last minute, but there's the early years collab, and that was spread between 2 parts. Originally, I had absolutely no involvement with that because I was just getting back into YouTube again at the time. But they had released their part 1 of the early years collab, which was amazing and fantastic. All the users there worked hard for it. And unfortunately, there was some problems with the second disc or the second part. One of the users had some troubles submitting a remake due to personal issues, and Roman and Trinking James brought me in to finish the episode. And I got it done in a week, and
Wow. That's not
although I
easy.
was although I had to get it out in a week, I'd say that was one of, like, it was a challenge. And that another thing I like doing, obviously, is like seeing like how far I can go for remake with limited time,
Hmm.
and that was definitely a fun remake to do. Because the episode I did originally, Tenders and Turntables, it's a pretty good episode, but I wouldn't consider it my favorite episode. Like, I'd go out of my way to do it, but it was fun because I had a time limitation to get it out in a week and get everything filmed. So it was a lot of fun to do that. And the final collab that is one that's actually upcoming um, is, well, I'm not really supposed to say what collab it is, but all I will say is that a collab will be coming out this summer between a bunch of my friends, and uh, the episode I did for it was James and the Queen of Sodor, and I was really proud of how that came out. So
Oh,
can't
that's
wait for that
nice.
collab to come out.
It's good to hear. So is that that kind of leads into what my next question is, but I think you just answered it. Any what's the future plans for collabs? Anything? You don't necessarily have to say what they are, but maybe just
Oh
that
yeah,
they're
we we've had a lot of crazy ideas for collabs. I mean, I didn't mention one that we were or I was originally going to do, but I canceled on it. We were supposed to do a remake battle on kind of like what I forgot which users it was. I think it was Thomas Fan 89 and Oliver the Jams or I can't remember their names, but they did like a remake battle, and we were going to do that ourselves over the episode Something Fishy from season 7, and I think Roman's TWR Empire and Easy Coldie got those out
okay.
already. I might be missing one other user, but it was supposed to be between all of us. I backed out of it because, well, I guess it isn't one of my like. It wasn't like something I had a lot of motivation to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's a good episode, but nothing too crazy or anything that I like. And with the dub and everything being the US, which I personally prefer the UK dub for season 7, but yeah, that was one of the collabs we were gonna do. Obviously, like the collab I mentioned with the episode that I did, James and the Queen of Sodor. Um, might want to redo that remake just for that, considering it's coming out a little later, but we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one of the other collabs I was thinking about doing, which will be hopefully I'm thinking 2022, 2023 coming out. Will be an original collab called the 8 Famous Engines collab, and basically it'll be an 8 episode collab. I haven't determined the song yet, but I've determined the episodes for it. Basically, it has to do with the 8 famous engines, Audrey's 8 famous engines, Thomas Edward, Henry Gordon, James Percy, Toby, and Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And going to be the episode where their character arc, I guess, shines. So, like, Edward, for example, would be Edward's exploit, most likely. Um, Duck, a close shave, and so on.
Oh, that's a really cool concept. That's a good idea.
But yeah. Other than that, haven't had many collab ideas. I guess the problem with collabs sometimes is that they take a long time to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't get things done at like the pace that that I could do or whatever. So I guess it takes a while for other people to do their parts for collabs. But that's the beauty of them. You spend all this time putting all the effort into it, and you get a really nice product at the end of it.
So that's that makes me wonder. You were able to get the one remake done in a week, but that one aside, most remakes from the time you start working on it till it's uploaded to YouTube, how long do you think it usually takes for you to complete a remake?
It really depends on the context of the situation that I'm in at that point. Like I'd say the fastest I've done a remake was 2 days in 2018. I did an Edwards
Wow.
exploit remake, and that's with all the. Of course, I got to take into consideration, like the filming the sets, building them, doing face animation or face masking, picking the right audio and stuff like that. Seeing if I want to put some original shots in there that aren't 100% accurate to the show or whatever. But like recently, a big surprise for Percy remake that was released, I think in July or August. Um, I did that in a week just because I was like, I want to do one of my favorite episodes from the show, just as like an 8 year anniversary, special. Unfortunately, I didn't get it out by then,
Mm-hmm.
but I got in a week. In a week's time, it was just editing, building the sets and stuff like that. Now, like James and the Queen of Sodor, that took a month to make. Not really because of the filming or anything. It was just more so I had to make like not original, but customs, like for
Mm-hmm.
the remake, and so that took some time, especially to order the parts if I need to go on eBay or something like that to do that.
Yeah.
It takes time, but usually I can get it done pretty efficiently and with results that I tend to like.
That's cool. That's neat to hear. And I'm sure, the fact I haven't done a ton of remakes in my life, but I know they take some time. That's part of the reason, and I mean, you put a
Oh yeah,
lot of work into it, so that's impressive. You can get them done as quick as you can.
yeah, and um, generally speaking, I haven't really struggled. I don't think on a remake. I mean, unless if I'm like, oh well, crud, I don't have this item or whatever, so I just got to brainstorm or whatever, like what I can do to either substitute or replicate that. And so that's where when you get to the bumps, and I think this is for other people too, when they're kind of like, okay, well, how many am I going to do this? That's where the time takes, and it's really that time you put into that really counts. There shows that you can put effort into that, and that's
Hmm.
always great to see with many users doing that.
Hmm. Definitely. So, as you look to the future, 2021 still pretty young. Uh, Remakes, maybe other content too. What do you kind of have plans for your channel?
Well, I've been putting a lot of thought into this, really, especially since this is going to be like my final year, I guess, at home,
Hmm.
because I'm in college after this. But um, I've been thinking, because I had a series as well, Thomas Wooden Remakes, where I would either make original stories or I would try to remake kind of episodes, like I did All at Sea as a remake or whatever for that series. Um, and unfortunately, I put a pause in that because I'd like to continue that later. But um, really, I've been thinking about making some original stories, though, outside of that continuity. Um, Kind of like a TARDIS rescue video,
Okay.
if that makes in
Hmm.
that format. And I've been thinking about that now. I did have a couple of ideas for remakes or ways I can, put those into like original stories or whatever. So I'd say this year, although the um, the amount of content that will come out will be like, I mean, I only got like 8 videos out last year, but although the quantity won't be as high, I'd say that the quality will be pretty good of those, hopefully.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. That's good.
I'm excited to get those like original stories out. They're like season two, through like four as kind of railway series, pulling things here and there. So kind of like TARDIS Rescue, and some of his videos kind of inspired me with that as well. Where hey, take your time, put some effort into that, make it nice and everything. Um, and so that's kind of the road I've chosen with 2021 to get out some content, which I'm proud of my remakes, but kind of like a last bang just in case, get some cool content out,
Hmm.
that people would enjoy.
I know you're not in college yet, so it's hard to predict what your
Hmm.
Thomas life will be once you're in college. But what do you think's gonna happen once that does happen and you're in college?
Well, I'll be out of state during that time.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, so I think I'll be only coming back like once during Christmas, just because we're moving homes and also it's Christmas break. But hopefully I'll be able to get something out for Christmas. Maybe like a remake that I would have fun doing. But I think after college will definitely be a good time for content, where I can spend a lot of time making some nice videos for people to enjoy. Um, but yeah, I'd say also this year alone, given the amount of time I'm able to focus on content right now, I'll be able to get hopefully some nice content out for
Hmm.
this year.
That's good to see. And sounds like you got a lot planned. Whether it be remakes and stuff for your own channel or collabs you have with other people. It seems like you have a lot on the way.
Yeah, excited for all that stuff to come out, and just happy that especially the thing that keeps me driving is that people enjoy it. Like the thing we or not, I wouldn't say in the community, but I'd say in general on YouTube is that a lot of people sometimes lose the your motivation for making content sometimes,
Hmm.
which is is really because you're having fun doing it, and that's what really matters about making the content. I mean, it's a lot of fun to make, and if I'm able to share that that sense of fun with everybody else, that's especially great as well.
Hmm. That's a good point you bring up because how a lot of people either just don't make videos anymore or make like one or two a year. And how do you keep the motivation going for you to keep making videos for the community?
Well, I would say the community itself is a great source of that. Um, a lot of people out there motivate me to push myself to make content that people would enjoy. And I didn't do this in the last couple of years, but really just going back to the television series. I mean, that's where it's really all at. I think for any Thomas fan, whether you're just a Railway series fan or just any generation of the show, or if you just like the merchandise, it all goes back to that classic series. That's where the drive for everyone comes from. And recently, especially like in the last couple months, I've been going back, just I wouldn't say obsessively watching it, but I've been watching it over and over again. And I just constantly push myself, like, I want to replicate that vibe with my videos in tone and lighting, in the sets, in the dialogue, everything. So I'd say really it's thanks to the community itself, the feedback you get from people, and the leaders out there, who inspire everyone
Hmm.
out, and the classic series itself. I mean, it's definitely a great route to go back and just go back to your roots and watch that.
I think that's a really good point because like you say that it's like two and two add up for me because it's like this year I've been watching an episode a day from season 1 to season 7, and
Mm-hmm.
we might not get content from people daily like it once was, but the content I do see that comes out of the community, I think both, like you said, are very motivating, and I'm glad it's helped motivated you to keep making videos for your channel.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely the community too. Like, I mean, going off of that, I mean, um, the sense of friendship that's in the community. I know there's a lot of drama on there, but looking past that, I'd say the sense of friendship, the friends that I've made over the last 8 years in the community. That I mean, I have friends that I just made like this year or last year, to friends that I've known since like my beginnings, my roots. I mean, it's just incredible
Hmm.
to have those connections with people. It is a true sense of friendship. I mean, here in the community, and there are a lot of rough moments, but the great thing is that as a community, we're able to look past them, and it helps us motivate us to make better content and have a good time and have fun with it.
Hmm. Oh, I agree 100%. I think having great friends on here is a great motivator to keep making content. So I guess you've talked a lot about what you have for the future, but maybe there's something we missed. Is there any other video plans, or maybe something different? I don't know. Uh, any other video
Um,
plans?
I've been thinking of doing a custom showcase series actually. Because for this video series that I was thinking of making, or like of original stories, um, and I was really inspired by one of my good friends, William Politeski, through his models himself. But I started making my own idealized models of like the characters in 2020,
Oh
and
wow.
um, like some of them I drew from his customs, what I liked, what other people did, and trying to put what I think is my ideal representation of these characters. Um, and I think I've done a great job of promoting them on Twitter, but I would definitely love to promote them through YouTube. I think that's it's a shame that I'm not able to share it with them, because not everybody on YouTube has Twitter, obviously. So
Hmm.
I think it's cool to share it through there as well. Um, but yeah, I've been working hard on these idealized customs, and I'm glad that I'll be using them for a video, because originally they were supposed to be for Thomas Wooden Remakes, the series that I just mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
But I put a pause in that for now. So they're just kind of sitting around, and one day I was just like looking back on them, and I was like, like I really should use these for a video. I think um, like it's just kind of a waste, letting them collect dust or whatever. And I thought it'd be fun just to do that.
Yeah, that's a I haven't done a custom before, so I can't speak from experience, but I've seen a ton of great ones, including yours, and I think that's a really good idea to showcase them on YouTube. I don't there's very few, you see them all the time on Twitter, but like you said, there's a lot of people on YouTube who don't have a Twitter and are missing out. So I think it's a great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, and I mean, and it sucks too, because I mean, back in the day, I saw a lot of like custom showcases from 2015 to around 2018. Unfortunately, like since then, I'd say like the amount of custom showcase videos have gone down, and I think they're a really great video, because they show who you are, what you like about what you do, and they show off something cool that you'd like to share with other people as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot to them, and every custom's different. Everybody, even the highest of quality ones, you see differences in like the rosy phase when everybody was making a lot of the red rosies.
Oh yeah,
You'd
those are.
see different ways people would make them, and they still look fantastic. It's just different ways to come across them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just and the amount of creativity. I mean, and this goes beyond the wooden railway community. This goes for whether you're a Tomy user, whether you're gonna go into Gauge One or HO or whatever. I think the creativity there is just amazing. I mean, the fact that we're at the point right now where we can replicate some of the original models from the show, or do your best with that in HO or Wooden Railway or Take Along or whatnot. It's just a really impressive feat for the community, and I mean that's something that the community should really be proud of themselves for doing.
Hmm. Oh, for sure. And I'm glad you're gonna start showing the customs you work on YouTube, and hopefully that inspires some more people to do it. Because now that you bring it up, I don't see that come up in my YouTube feed as much as I used to, and I do miss seeing that. Maybe I see it on Twitter, but not as much on YouTube nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. Twitter's definitely I mean, half of the tweets I like are just customs, and I'm like, that's cool. We can see them, for photos and everything. But I think it'd be cool for a video too, like and get to that other audience that
Hmm.
might look at that as well, who's missing out on that.
For sure, for sure. Well, it's been great having you on here. It's been great hearing about like all what made you join the community and all the stuff you've worked on and have planned coming out. Is there any last things you want to talk about that we might have not covered yet?
I guess I mean it's kind of minor, but I guess meetups. Although I have a huge meetup planned out for this summer, which also I'm excited for Magic Railway
Hmm.
show. Or I might be wrong about it. Is it Magic Railroad show or Magic Railway?
Magic. I think it's Magic Railway Show.
Yeah, Magic Railway show. I'm excited for that, and can't wait to be there this summer. If obviously the pandemic doesn't get in the way, but I've really only ever met up with one user, Duncan Wooden Railway, who unfortunately is not in the community anymore,
Yeah.
but he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Easy Cody and I. Well, by the way, also Easy Cody is a remake channel,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but but I was supposed to meet up with him in February. Unfortunately, the pandemic kind of hit in, and that kind of restrained us from doing stuff last February of 2020. But um, yeah, I'm just excited, to meet more people and stuff like that, and just as a message to the viewers to really quickly, just I know that the pandemic is hitting all of us hard, but just keep your head up high. I mean, there's always an end to a journey, and if you're able to be resilient about things, you'll come out on top
Mm-hmm.
at the end of this hard journey. And yeah,
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. Hopefully, the end's in sight, and the summer's always a big time for meetups. So
oh yeah,
hopefully it can happen.
yeah, for sure.
Well, before we go, any links you'd like me to leave in the description for people?
I guess my YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed to it, guys, be greatly appreciated. And I guess since I'm really 10 times more active on my Twitter, if you guys watching want to see my customs and stuff like that, and sign up for Twitter or whatnot, I do post like just a bunch of customs and behind the scenes and everything on my Twitter account. Um, but I mean, other than that, I will be putting a custom series on YouTube too, so you can look forward towards that. But other than that, no, I'm pretty good.
Awesome, that's great to hear. Well, thank you for coming on. It was great to hear you talk about your history in the community and your future plans for the channel. I love hearing about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, awesome. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, this is Percy number 6. Goodbye. All right,